Hey guys, I'm your host Matt, and we're here to talk about how can the Dolphins win the AFC East in 2024 on the Matt Newton Football Show. 2024 is a critical season for the Miami Dolphins. They went out and signed Mike McDaniel, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Tua Tagovailoa through new contracts that will keep them with the team till the 2028 season.
And that sounds like projection, okay?
And that's important because the Dolphins are going to have that nucleus of players, which is basically the foundation of their offense. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, things are a little bit unsettled. In the 3 years that Mike McDaniel has been the head coach, he's had Josh Boyer, Vic Fangio, and now Anthony Weaver as his defensive coordinators. And if Anthony Weaver does well this season, it's very likely that he'll get a head coaching opportunity in 2025. So the Dolphins have consistency in offense, but their defense will be changing probably from year to year. So in this video, I want to outline the things the Dolphins would have to do this season in order for them to win the AFC East. And it won't be any easy feat because the Dolphins have some really difficult games on the schedule, but we'll talk about that as we go through the list. The first thing the Dolphins have to do is find a way to stay healthy.
Each year, every fan knows that every season there's highs and lows, there's things that happen, there's injuries.
And that's easier said than done. The Dolphins over the last 2 years have had injuries that derailed once promising seasons. And the Dolphins already started off on the wrong foot with Bradley Chubb and OBJ on the PUP list, which will force them to miss the first 4 games of the regular season. In 2022, Tua Tagovailoa sustained 1 or more concussions that led to him ending his season on the injured reserve list. Backup quarterback Skylar Thompson started a playoff game for the Miami Dolphins, but obviously that's not how you'd like your season to end. In 2023, the Dolphins sustained numerous injuries on defense and offense, and you really have to get lucky to stay healthy at the end of the season. These teams hire the best physicians, the best trainers, the best nutritionists, so it's one of those things that every team has to deal with in the NFL, but I'm hoping this season the Dolphins get lucky with injuries so that they can finish their season strong and hopefully make a deep playoff push in 2024.
Injuries happen. I don't want to use that as just the excuse. That would maybe trying to take the easy way out.
The second thing the Miami Dolphins have to do in 2024 is improve their 3rd and 4th down conversions on offense. And this is something that's been a little bit difficult for Mike McDaniel's team, and some of it has to do with their playing style and the way the roster is constructed. Chris Greer said in a recent press conference that the Dolphins prefer to have offensive linemen that are more agile and nimble than they are strong.
For that, tackles are always of value, but the guys that have the ability like Robert and Liam to go inside and play, position flexibility always because for your roster and spots. In this scheme, as you guys have seen, athletes are what, kind of the priority. So you want guys who are athletic, twitch, and can come off the ball.
And the reason being is that they want guys to be able to get out there to run the outside zone and get 2nd and 3rd level blocks. This is something that we've seen from Patrick Paul in the preseason, which helps to cement the Dolphins' offensive philosophy. I have confidence that Mike McDaniel will find a way, but against some teams on the schedule that are sophisticated enough to take away the outside zone, the Dolphins need to have a counterpunch. And if running inside isn't an option, they have to find a better way to convert those 3rd and 4th and shorts. The Dolphins can't go into those situations lining up 5 wide with 2 in the shotgun to convert these all-important downs. They need to come up with a scheme that's reliable enough so that they can get near the top 10 of 3rd and 4th down conversions in the NFL. This will help them go a long way in terms of sustaining drives and being able to keep the defense off the field. The third thing the Dolphins need in 2024 is a reliable 3rd option for the offense.
Every time you do anything, get the best player available.
And this could be a wide receiver, it could be a tight end, it could be a running back. Devon Achane and Jonnu Smith are obvious candidates. Malik Washington has flashed in the preseason. The Dolphins expect to get OBJ sometime after October. So the Dolphins do have players in place that they feel can take up that role, but they need a reliable 3rd guy behind Hill and Waddle. Oftentimes, opposing defenses double team both Hill and Waddle on a play, and they'll force the Dolphins to beat them with someone else. In the past, the Dolphins have relied on Cedric Wilson Jr., Braxton Berrios, and River Craycraft to play that role, but this season, it seems as though they have more players that have the potential to make big plays. The fourth thing the Dolphins have to do is beat good teams on the road. And the Dolphins' schedule isn't exactly favorable in that regard. To end the season, the Dolphins play 4 of their last 6 games on the road, and the last 2 games of the season are at the Cleveland Browns and at the New York Jets. These games may prove to test the physicality of the Miami Dolphins. Each of these defenses are expected to be amongst the elite in the NFL. Guys like Myles Garrett and Quinnen Williams can wreck a game plan, so the Dolphins will have to be at their best to win those 2 games late in the season. The Dolphins also have to play the Bills, the Texans, and the Packers on the road, and I suspect the Dolphins really have to play their best in order to achieve victories in those games. Games against AFC teams are particularly crucial because they have tiebreaker consequences down the road. Number 5. Anthony Weaver's defense must be top 10 in 2024. Anthony Weaver follows Vic Fangio, who coached a top 10 unit on defense even with all the injuries in 2023. This is something that he would have to match in order for the Dolphins to win the division next season. The Dolphins have a couple of edge guys who's coming back from serious injury, and those guys will have to be brought along slowly in order for them to acclimate getting back on the playing field. Anthony Weaver came from the Baltimore Ravens, which played 35% of their defensive snaps in the big nickel, which basically means 3 safeties in the game. So the Dolphins would be relying on Javon Holland, Marcus May, and Jordan Poyer to fill those roles. And if Anthony Weaver can duplicate some of the things they did in Baltimore last season, it should push the Dolphins up into the top 10 conversation. The Dolphins will probably be a better second half defense than they are in the first half of the season. So we'll see how well these guys are able to play on the field once they're all together.
You're either getting better or you're getting worse. You don't stay the same.
What do you guys think the Dolphins have to do to win the division? Leave a comment in the section below, and I'll see you in the next video.